Hi, guys. We're going to go over the final expense financial inventory. We're going to break this down. That way, we can get into really what the final expense financial inventory is for, getting to the why, the financial information, the medical information, and really how to go over the options and how to show the numbers. So let's go ahead and get in this. Now, perhaps this is your first time looking at it, or perhaps you're very accustomed to the financial inventory for final expense. But what I did here is I have this broken up into four sections. We have a green, blue, purple, and red. Now, the way that I go about this is I start addressing per the color sections first. Green is first, blue will be second, purple will be third, and last will be red. So let's go ahead and get into this. So the green sections, which again are on the top and on the bottom, I'm going to be addressing these at the same time. Now, when I go ahead, this is how I'm going to get into the why. On the top of the page says 1, 2, and 3. No burial life insurance, need more life insurance, or leave money behind for a legacy. On the bottom is about the beneficiary, the information about the beneficiary. This is where I'm going to find out, do they have anything right now? Are they looking to put more coverage in place? Or if it makes sense financially, are they looking to leave some money behind as a legacy, like to children or grandchildren or something like that? We're going to ask what their plan is. Are they going to be buried or are they going to be cremated? Have they recently had a death in the family? And did that person have any final expense insurance? Did they have any life insurance? What was it like if they did? And what was it like if they didn't? Now, again, possibly leaving a legacy behind. Mary, if it makes sense to you, financially, would you like to leave some money behind, or are you just looking to make sure and cover your final expenses? Once you ask about the beneficiary, who's going to be responsible? Mary, when you die, who's going to be responsible to take care of all of your final wishes and final expenses? Where do they live? Are they going to have to take time off work? What is this going to be like for them? Are they going to have to move your stuff out? The bigger that you can paint a picture as to who this is for, what it's going to do, what this is going to entail, you're going to be able to get deeper into their why. You're going to be able to build more value in a higher policy, higher premium. You're going to make sure to build the value so that way 6 months, a year down the road, when they're not loving making their payments and they're looking to shave off those bills, they're going to remember their why and what this is doing for them or for their family. Now, once we go ahead and get into the why, the next section we need to get into is the blue section, which is the financial inventory. This is where you're going to get their basic: how old are they? Are you working? Are you retired? What kind of income do you have coming in? If there's whoever is in this appointment, you want to find out what their individual income is, where it comes from. Now, a way to ask these questions without coming across too intrusive is ballpark. Bob, are you getting Social Security every month? Yes. Ballpark, what do you see a month? Do you have any other income? Do you have any disability? Do you have any retirement accounts? Now, asking the golden question every single time that you are in an appointment, doesn't matter what the house looks like, doesn't matter what you possibly think or not. The golden question is, Mary, do you have anything that acts like any life insurance or anything that acts like life insurance that's transferable upon your death? Any old 401ks, any IRAs, any stocks, CDs, mutual funds, any significant savings that your daughter can use when you pass on? Now, this is going to open up the opportunity. One, you want to make sure what do they have so that way you can get a good inventory and be able to address what they will need, as well as opening up opportunities for you to help them further with perhaps an annuity opportunity. So again, ballpark numbers and asking the golden question. This is the blue section, which is the second section that you're going to be addressing during your financial inventory. Now we need to get into medical information. Medical information is the purple section, the third section that you're going to want to dive into. This is where you're going to ask questions like, have you ever? Do you have a history of? You want to find out medications in the last 5 years that they've been prescribed, whether they've taken them or not. Mary, in the last 5 years, is there any medications that you were prescribed that perhaps you didn't want to take or stop taking? in addition to what you're already taking right now. Get details. When someone tells you that they have diabetes, you're going to want to get details. Now, why are you being treated for this? Okay, I was diagnosed with diabetes. When? When were you diagnosed? Okay, I was diagnosed 5 years ago. And how? How are they treating you? What type of medications? What is your treatment? Again, the why, the when, and the how when any type of medical question. Up there's a very nice list: heart attack, stroke, cardiomyopathy, congestive heart failure. The list goes on and on. The key question is to ask, have you ever had, or do you have a history for yourself of? Now, the last section that we need to get into is the options. Now, the options can be a little tricky, right? We figure out what we're going to write them, what they think they'll qualify for, but then what do we show them? And how do we build enough value in the home to build that why, remember that why, and back it up with a premium that's affordable, but that also shows value? So what I would look at here's an example for you guys. This person, Mary, she qualified for an America Eagle Premier. She's planning to be cremated and not leave a legacy behind. Now, option 1, I showed her 5,000. Option 2, 7,500, and option 3, 10,000 of her benefit. Now, I like to write out on there when I'm showing the options, because for America Eagle Premier, there's a double and triple accidental indemnity. I like to write out. So if you have an accident, Mary, it's going to be 10,000. And if it's a common carrier accident, or death, it's going to be 15,000. I always write the benefits big and high and the premium small into the bottom. So if you see there, option 1, I wrote down the benefits bigger, bolder, and then the premium small, looking not as significant as the benefits that are paying out. Now, confused people do nothing. So you don't want, when you come for somebody to giving them options of coverage, you want to make sure that you're definitive in what you say and not use words like, well, we could do this. If you'd want to do that, how do you feel about that? What I say is, Mary, based off what we've talked about, I know you want to be cremated. You're not really looking to leave a legacy behind. So I want to show you a couple options. I always plan for inflation as well. So I want to make sure we show you these options. You let me know which one you feel is going to take care of everything, take care of this for your daughter, but also feel comfortable for you financially. Then I'm going to slide it over, and I'm not going to say a word, and I'm going to let her tell me which one. I will explain the benefits out to her, but after that, I'm not going to say anything because I want her to tell me which route. Now, if she's starting to talk her way out, that's when I'll step in and I'll start building the value and bringing back those from my financial inventory, the why or the reasons why this is important to do now and to build value and having more protection than not. Now, as a rule of thumb, if somebody is going to be cremated and they don't want to leave a legacy behind, then I'm going to show them about 5,000, 7,500, and 10,000. Now, if they want to leave a legacy, I'm going to show them 10,000 and up, depending upon their budget and really what they're hoping to put in place. Now, if they're going to be buried and not leaving a legacy, I'm going to show them 10,000, 12,500, and 15,000. And if they're wanting to leave a legacy, I'm going to show them 15,000 and higher. A good rule of thumb is to show numbers that range between 7 to 10% of their disposable income. Now, if Mary has $600 a month and her policy, she wants to be buried, and her policy is going to cost her $300 a month, then I'm not going to push a $300 a month policy on Mary. What I'm going to do is show the value and build the value of her why as to where perhaps all she can afford is $5,000, but what that $5,000 of coverage is going to do for her daughter. That something is better than nothing, and whatever she can do is going to be the best that we can put in place. Now, again, if somebody is looking for a higher amount and their income matches up, absolutely, I'm going to show them higher amounts. Most people for a final expense are on a fixed income, meaning Social Security or disability only. So being very well aware of the fixed incomes that they have, but also know that they know what their budget is. When they say that they need to think about it or on their budget, fixed income, Social Security, disability, things like that, retirement income. They know what their budget is. It's all about finding something that fits within that parameter that they feel comfortable with financially, but also bringing enough value to where you can push the higher premiums or be able to put coverage in place that's going to have a bigger stance and a bigger remembrance of the power of what it does for them when you're long gone and they've had those bills coming month to month. Now, again, this was our overview of the final expense financial inventory. There is a video on the FFL 101 orientation, step 30, that goes in depth, more in detail on the final expense financial inventory. Between this video and the one on there, you should have no difficulty showing the numbers, building the value, getting to the why, and helping families with policies.